Like clockwork. Hey, look, I said in 2025 I was going to try to be more punctual because nobody has ever been late to the party more often than myself. I don't know if y'all remember, for some of y'all that go back to like season one, season two, season three, probably up to like season six of the two piece. Um, you might have gotten like some like appearances starting at like 7:10 or something like that. So I do got a special guest. Speaking of appearances, and I can't wait. It was a big weekend for a lot of Arizona kids. A lot of them spent some time out there at the Rivals invite only camp, and they balled. There were a lot of them played very very well, very impressive, and I was super excited about that. Shout out to my guy Ball Dogs AC because we are still in basketball season. Can y'all see Ball Dog AC? Don't dunk on my camera guy. He is my camera guy. So whenever y'all get a chance to check him out, say what's up, make sure you do so. Um, Look, the Suns are terrible, so I'm not really going to go too much into that. The Sun Devils basketball kind of letting me down, so not going to go too much into that. Let's talk about some local boys hoops. I believe that the Final Fours start up like tomorrow. Um, O'Connor versus Perry, Millennium versus Slope in the Open, and then 6A. I believe it's like Brophy Highland, and then Mountain Point, Canyon View. I actually saw Mountain Point last week. Shout out to my guy Cheese out there running that bench mob and getting his team right. And I saw starting quarterback Christian Escobedo. I'm not sure if he's actually starting quarterback right because they got multiple quarterbacks, but new coach over there, things like that. Um, I've watched Christian work for a while now, and I see him working hard in the offseason. So he's the one I'm familiar with. I know that they got other quarterbacks there that are very talented, but Christian Escobedo definitely going to be a dude. So stand by on that. Anyways, moving on. That was a 5A, and then girls hoops, Final Fours. I believe that those are starting today. I'm not sure. Um, Valley Vista Pinnacle. Desert Vista Millennium. I believe that that's the open. 6A Sunnyside Gilbert, Mesa Hamilton, and then the 5A. I believe it's Pueblo versus Kellis and Canyon View versus Catalina Foothills. Loaded. There's a lot of basketball talent in this state. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. There's a lot of basketball talent in the state. And O'Connor got a big fella that might be able to pull off the shocker and upset Perry. You never know. Perry got like 5 future NBAers on that team. So absolutely insane lineup for Coach Dwayne. Soccer champs. I heard Desert Vista won it for the Open Boys. Won it with penalty kicks. Super exciting. And then for the girls, Xavier. Look, man, multi-sport. I got to show some love. Me and my guy Gridiron coming off multi-sport coverage as we showed love to a lot of the football players playing winter sports, playing actual winter sports. Sevens doesn't really count, but I just wanted to show some love and share the sugar a little bit. Diamondbacks spring training right now. I'm not too caught up on what's going on. But if you're looking for some cool information, my guy Brett Quintine has been doing some interviews with some of the Diamondbacks and things like that. Make sure that you support him, show him some love. I believe it's at Brett and AZ on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and the Gram. So make sure that you show him some love. But without further ado, I do got a super special guest that I cannot wait to chop it up with. I think I'm officially getting the first interview for this individual. And I've talked to his brother before many, many times. Was a star on the vlog, backflipping and doing all sorts of cool stuff. But without further ado, I'm going to talk about one of these kids, talk to one of these kids about a whole bunch of things. Caught him out there at the Rivals invite only camp. We're going to talk about how much he enjoyed his experience there dealing with the muggings and the super handsy defensive backs that don't understand the difference between wrestling and coverage. So without further ado, I'm going to catch up with Braylon Kasper of the Kasper franchise. Hang out for 10 seconds. Braylon, there we go. Got the Crows, got the Tucson Turf shirt going, repping the Sevens team. You know the deal. The new ALA Queen Creek wide receiver, Braylon. What's going on, man? I know that you were in LA and doing all the cool stuff. Before we talk about the UCLA trip that I know that you love, let's talk about this rivals camp and dealing with all these super aggressive defensive backs out there. You haven't really done the camp thing before. I know your brother never did the camp thing before, but you love to compete, which we're going to talk about more. Talk to me about your experience at the rivals camp, goods, bads, and everything else.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely good to like go against like physical DBs and stuff because I've never really like went against that type of things. And yeah, they were whole like crazy, but it was good to like experience that. And like yeah, it was really good experience.
Hey, so you go to these super I call them the Wagyu camps because these are high stakes. You go to these camps. Do you do a lot of networking? Do you try to meet a lot of the kids from other states, from other teams outside of Arizona?
Yeah, I actually like chop it up with like random people that I really know and like kind of learn about them. So I like to talk to a lot of other kids and see what they got going on and stuff like that.
All right, look, one of the hot topics out there, I don't even know if you were paying attention to this or knew about this. One of the hot topics out there was, yo, dude, the drip was absolutely crazy. And I'm going to bring this up real quick so that everybody can see what we're actually working with. Everybody was hitting me up with like, yo, who the dude with the LV cleats, with the Louis Vuitton cleats? Those are actually bananas. How many of the kids did any of them bring it up to you? I don't know if they wanted to do that because it might have been like they was feeling you, sweating you too hard. But did anybody ask you about them?
Yeah, a couple people did, and my mom actually customizes cleats, so she actually did those for me, and she does them for me like every year. She does different stuff for me, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, different stuff. Your cleat game is absolutely crazy. I've seen you with the Chrome Hearts. What are you trying to break out this year? What's something new? What's a new design that you want to make sure that you get in the rotation?
I haven't really thought of anything yet for tackle season because I usually just wear spats anyways.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm probably just gonna wear like normal cleats with spats this year. But I don't know. I'll see. I might do something. I don't know yet.
So the custom cleats is more for the seven stuff, more for the camps, or just
Uh,
plain workouts.
yeah, it's a lot of sevens because I don't wear spats and sevens, obviously. So
Okay.
it like shows. I don't know how to explain it, but like I like stick out with like those nice cleats and stuff like that. Yeah, I stick out.
Now, no, you were absolutely killing it, man. The drip was insane. Talked to a bunch of the kids about it, and they were like, "Yo, dude, whoever his cleat designer is, we need to get in touch. We're gonna need to make that connect, follow each other on the gram, Twitter, all that stuff."
Yeah.
Look, man, these are high stakes, and you're a super competitor. Your brother actually told me about this. I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, before you were even in high school. Um, he praised you for how competitive you were. Something about a Peloton that you guys had, and you would constantly try to like uh, break all the numbers, beat all the high scores, or whatever. Where do you get this from?
Well, I get this from my dad because he's crazy. He's always working out, trying to like if he does something, he sticks to it and just tries to beat everything, break every record he wants to. Like he's crazy. He does. He's a really hard worker. So I got it from him for sure.
Hey, so did you ever get that high score on the Peloton?
I don't think so, but he did. I know he
Oh
did.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, how competitive is the household? Look, man, I know your sister Aaliyah. She's a soccer player, turned photographer, and then your mom did some stuff. How competitive does that household get for the ping pong games and the Thanksgiving basketball games? How competitive are you guys?
It's just like everything we do is always competitive, no matter what it is, and it always like it's a little argument. And it's just always really competitive, no matter what we do. So it's kind of fun, but yeah.
And are you getting your pops in some of these things in the ping pong games and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Always?
Maybe not always, but
Routine.
sometimes.
Hey, don't let him hold you back. Braylon, this is your time to shine. Let everybody know it's okay. Um, look, your dad was a wide receiver in the league, obviously. But I do know he's not super hovering when it comes to watching you work and stuff like that, coaching you up and things like that. how do you guys maintain that relationship though? Because I know that he likes to be in the stands watching the games for the most part. How do you guys juggle this relationship, dad, coach, all that stuff?
Well, I actually love him coaching me and stuff because he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's been teaching me since I was a little kid. So that's where I like get everything from, like him. He just taught me so much. And then like yeah, in the games and stuff, he we go over film every night, like after games before I go over film with the team. So I'll go over film with him, and he just tells me like from blocking to routes to all that. He just tells me everything and what to do.
Hey, one of the best 2027 wide receivers we got in the state of Arizona, my guy Braylon Kasper. Look, recruiting, look, it's no secret that it's going on and stuff. And you got the unique opportunity to watch your brother go through it. A dad that's super knowledgeable about the subject and stuff. What are some things that you learned by watching your brother go through the process?
Well, just like I was like so young, and it's just like really inspired me. It was really cool to see what my brother was going through, like with all the recruiting stuff, and I got to go with him to like see all that stuff. So it just like inspired me to get to that position. So that just made me work even that much harder. So yeah.
Okay. Hey, any cool or crazy like recruiting stories that really stood out to you that made an impact on you? Leave out all the names though. Leave out all the names. Like, are there any cool like recruiting stories that you have that like you're like, you know what? When I go through the process, I want to make sure that you know something like this happens.
Yeah, there's actually a school or two that actually like offered my sister to go play a sport to that college to help my brother to go to that
What?
college.
I
So yeah,
love that.
yeah.
I love that. I love that, man. That's awesome. And with in this day and age with like the NIL opportunities that are out there and stuff, I'm sure things are gonna get crazier. What are some things in particular that you're looking out for when you go on trips moving forward? Like, what are some things that you'd like to see from staffs? Like, is it really about the personal relationship? Is it about the facilities? Like, what is it really about for you?
It's not as much about the facilities, like it's cool and all, but like I look for like the relationships I have with the quarterback or the not the quarterback, the staff
Well,
and
you're gonna
like
have to look out for that
yeah,
quarterback
yeah.
relationship too.
The staff and like get to know them personally and stuff. So that's just like the biggest thing for me.
Okay. So obviously, you want to make sure that you deal with your position coach, have a good relationship there, and then offensive coordinator, and then build it up to the head coach. Look, Braylon, I know you're in line for a huge senior year. What can we expect the rest of the way in the spring, though? Second sport, are you going to try to jump in some track, or is it just going to be sevens and then get back to some football workouts?
Well, right now I'm just doing sevens and then obviously the school workouts and then I'm working out with my dad like a couple times a week. I just got done actually a couple hours ago. So I'm doing that for sure. I don't know if I want to do track yet. I've been thinking
Okay.
about it, but I don't know for sure. So that's
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, your Mamba mentality. Listen, I occasionally, I chop it up with your pops, or there's been times obviously where I chop it up with Kyler, and everybody's got downtime, but then you're in the hotel weight room going hard again. Um, I- how long is that going to continue? How long are we going to keep that up?
Oh, always, always for sure.
Always.
Yeah,
I
always.
love that. I
Yeah,
love it. So even after you're done with the workouts, the sevens games, whatever, you're still gonna just jump right back in there, private weight rooms or whatever.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Hey, last thing, Braylon, before I let you go, something that I noticed about you is look, it doesn't matter if it's 60 degrees and cold outside or 120 and hot. You are always wearing a hoodie. This is like the first time I've ever seen you without a hoodie. Yo, how are you wearing a hoodie when it's 120 outside?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just like used to it, I guess.
Man. And it's just crazy because I wonder, like, yo, does my man have like some sort of like secret fan in there? Because like you're like not sweating. You're just like it's just like a part. I don't know. It's like second skin or something. But hey, Braylon, I appreciate you hanging out. I got to catch up with you down the line. Hopefully, if you get in track season, we're gonna chop it up then. But if not, Braylon, I'll catch you up. I'll catch up with you. I'm guessing maybe Flight Club this year, right? June 28th, June 25th. June 28th. You'll be out there, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay, ALA Queen Creek. I know Coach Hall is booking this ticket for Maricopa, so I can't wait to see y'all out there. Braylon, I'm gonna catch up with you down the line. Cool.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, man. You know the deal. from legacy wide receiver Braylon Kasper to
Yeah.
the official numbers guy Gridiron.
He's gonna. I'm sure Braylon's going to put up a lot of numbers for us to go through here over the next 2 seasons. Just a
I'm
sophomore
sure.
right now. Yeah.
Hey, his what do they call it? Drip. His cleat game was absolutely insane at Rivals
I know
Camp. I
that's something
can't.
you would be checking out while you're there at the Rivals Camp.
Like look a lot of kids had cool like gear on. The limited edition battle cleats that Braylon was kind of talking about that he has. The Kobe Grinch cleats were super popular. They're like fluorescent green or whatever. And then Braylon's cleats, these Louis Vuitton custom cleats, like they just stood out. I must have had like 10 kids. Hey, Chew, you know who that is? And I was like,
They wanted to see if he could hook them up to get some. Yeah.
Yeah, like the one with the Louis Vuitton cleats. I was like,
the extent
like, oh,
that is if I'm watching a basketball game, I'll notice if someone's got some bright colored shoes. That's about it.
I'm saying no. It was just cool that that an Arizona player was recognized for something so fashionable because typically like that isn't the case, and we've had some pretty fashionable Arizona players that have worn some pretty cool stuff. So like I just thought that was cool. Like what's it called? At one of the camps we had a freshman that was wearing some like, and I know you won't know, but this company Bape, these Bape shorts. It's like this. They got like a gorilla mascot. Looks super dope. Looks kind of like my little gorilla mascot right there in the corner. But yeah. So like I just thought it was super cool because it goes back to personality, a little bit of flair, this and that, the other thing. So I just thought that was super cool. Gridiron. I know we got something super cool lined up. We're gonna go inside the numbers on some of these Rivals Camp participants that I saw, that I confirmed and saw.
Last Sunday.
Yes, it was last Sunday. And don't forget, we got the yellow pad. Shout out to our guy K Visuals.
Lots of guys got a few photos there. Look at that.
We got some photos. Look from left to right, from left to right. Well, the big fella over there is Rex Waterman. The one holding the football is Luke Farrell from Corona del Sol. And then the one looking to catch a pass after blowing by a defensive back, that would be Braylon Kasper, tonight's guest. Look, Rivals Camp was insane. This had to be one of, if not the most Arizona kids at a Rivals Camp that I can remember in a long time. We had a lot of participants out there, and we had a lot more that were invited that did not show up for one reason or another. But the ones that did, Mason Lewis from Basha was getting some defensive back work. Kingston Spivey getting some defensive back work and looked fantastic. Elias Taya, young kid from Cesar Chavez, was working with the linebackers. Nasim Eason getting some defensive back work out there from Higley. Jalen Coulter getting some linebacker work. Marquise Richardson was working on defense. Dane Silver looked spectacular at quarterback. The kid from East Mark, Braylon Kasper, was doing his thing at wide receiver and had one of the nastiest catches of the day. This one-handed catch really showing off his mitts. It was crazy on the sidelines. Luke Farrell spinning it for sure from Corona del Sol, pictured below. Jacob Brown, running back from Hamilton, was doing his thing. Cash Brock, wide receiver from Basha. Jamel Champion was cooking guys from South Point. Talon Scott was also participating as a receiver over there, did his thing. And I think that he was invited on Saturday based on his performance over there. Kale Snyder was doing his thing, competing with some of the top quarterbacks. Rex Waterman was handling his business in the trenches. And Jai Jones, wide receiver from Chandler. Look, all these kids did their thing. And I am going to let you do your inside the numbers thing, go through some of their careers. And, let's talk about it. Let's go inside the numbers. Invite only Rivals Camp 2025.
Yep, we got a lot of sophomores and juniors here that were at the camp. We'll just kind of jump around a few of them here. We'll start with the guest of the show there, Braylon Kasper for ALA Queen Creek now. Sophomore wide receiver, 6'1", 175. Transferred from Williamsfield to ALA QC after last season. Last year in 5 games, had 11 receptions, 231 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the Blackhawks. Had a game against Desert Ridge where he had 3 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown, so making some big plays. Visited UCLA while he was in Los Angeles last weekend. Already has offers from ASU, BYU, Missouri, and Oregon. And as you saw from the shirt, he's playing sevens with Tucson Turf. Jamel Champion from Sal Point, a sophomore, wide receiver and safety, 6'2", 185. Played wide receiver at the Rivals camp. I got a chance to see some of the highlights there from him. Has an offer from Georgia State. Had a big day back in January at the Next Gen Invite camp there, so a little camp experience. Currently playing sevens with Hellstar, and visited both Arizona and Arizona State in January. We got Kingston Spivey from Hamilton, a junior cornerback, 5'9", 160. Last season on varsity, 27 tackles, a sack, and 4 pass breakups for the Huskies. That was in 8 games due to an injury. Already has offers from Sacramento State and Utah. He's going to junior day at Sacramento State later this month. And then he also went to that Next Gen Invite camp and stood out. We got Cale Snyder from Perry, the quarterback, sophomore, 6'3", 200. Got to start for the Pumas last season. Had a big year, 2,149 passing yards, 17 touchdowns. Had a game against Queen Creek that I was able to be at early in the season. 15 of 26, 294 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a 21-12 win. Has 7 offers, including Arizona, Boise State, Kentucky, and Utah. And he's going to compete in the Elite 11 regionals in Los Angeles. So he'll be back there in LA competing once again. Talon Scott from ALA Queen Creek, a sophomore linebacker and tight end, 6'4", 220. Last season had 11 catches for 98 yards on offense, and then also 8 tackles on defense. So it remains to be seen if he's going to be on one side of the ball or the other in his last 2 years of high school, but he's versatile. He can do both. He played wide receiver at that Rivals camp in LA, and he also has blocking skills in addition to catching there, likely going to be over at the tight end position. He's also playing sevens with Tucson Turf, and he was in the Red Zone Super Bowl Classic that they had there last month and was the MVP from that event. Has interest from ASU, BYU, and Kansas. Mason Lewis from Basha, junior defensive back, wide receiver, 6', 185. If Basha sounds new, it's because it is. He transferred from Castile to Basha after last season. Last year with Castile had 238 rushing yards, and then used also as a receiver, kind of more as a receiver than a back. Had 20 catches, 435 yards, and 5 TDs. And then on defense had 33 tackles. So he was playing both ways pretty much all the time there for the Colts. He is being recruited as a cornerback on defense, has 7 offers so far, including K-State, ASU, Iowa, and Iowa State. He is going on an official visit to Kansas State in June. Jalen Coulter from Mountain Point, junior linebacker, 6'2", 195. Led the Pride in tackles last season with 122. Also had a sack, an interception, and 2 forced fumbles. He can go sideline to sideline on defense. Visited UCLA last November. Has 6 offers, including ASU, Duke, and Oregon. Was a first-team All 6A Central Region selection. And then we have Elias, is it Taya?
I think it's Taya.
Elias Taya from Cesar Chavez. Sophomore linebacker and defensive back, 6', 180. He transferred from Fairfax to Cesar Chavez after last season. With the Stampede last year, had 60 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 5 forced fumbles, and 2 blocked field goals. So really getting it done in a lot of ways. That's what Cesar Chavez will have going for them this season. Kind of specializes as a nickel backer. He can cover, he can move, and he can also provide pass rush. And he was a first-team All 5A Metro defensive utility flex player last season.
Now, what's crazy is I was watching Elias go through some of the drills and stuff, and one of the coaches was like, "Are you sure you should be with the linebacker?" He was like, "Are you sure this kid should be with the linebackers because he looks too fast to be." Yeah, he was
Speed.
moving, flying through stuff. So like, they thought that he should be out with the corners or safeties or whatever. So no, a special kid though, was working hard out there, just trying to obviously make his name and stuff like that. Nasim Eason looked fantastic most of the day. So it's look, it's really tough because the way these camps are set up, obviously, they want to showcase and highlight these quarterbacks, and sometimes it comes at the expense of defensive backs, and that is why
I
sometimes.
mean, there's some big time talent on both sides of the ball there, though. You had some big time quarterbacks, and then we talked about some guys with some D1 offers already. Before spring ball, when it might really take off for some of these juniors that were making plays on the defensive side.
But that is part of the reason why, like, I think some of these defensive backs, they get so handsy and aggressive because they're on display and they don't want to get embarrassed, and
Yep.
it's literally just you and a wide receiver. So like once that wide receiver slips by you by just a little bit, like it's see you later time. So you'll sometimes you'll see a lot of holding and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to Nasim and Marquise and some of these guys. Hey, Rex Waterman was really holding his own too. I really do want to point that out. Looked great battling some of the best big men in the country. This LA camp had a lot of dogs out there.
So it wasn't all receivers and DBs doing one-on-one, one-on-ones.
No.
You had some linemen in there and doing their. Did they do one-on-ones with linemen too?
Yeah, they did. They did
Okay.
one-on-ones with linemen and ran them through all the drills and things like that. And I got to watch Rex next to some of those guys from modern day and Gorman and wherever else, and competing against some of the best defensive players in the country. Oregon commit here and USC commit there. So shout out to Rex, and he did his job, represented Arizona well, just like all these kids did. Reps are tough to come by, and this is one of those things that I try to tell people about these camps is make sure that you're taking your reps and not letting people cut in front of you, because I saw a lot of that, and there's a couple of these kids like they're just hungry. They're hungry for opportunity, and one of the guys out there was this kid Jude Nelson, a super talented tight end receiver from California. And man, he was like up every other, like he must have gotten like 7 reps in like a minute. I was like, dang, dude, this guy's going like every 10 seconds. Catch a ball, come back, catch another ball, come back. I'm like, dang, my man was going.
You got to hold your spot, is what you're saying there, huh?
No, 100%. But yeah, these guys were balling, and our Arizona group looked fantastic. I can't say that I'm too surprised. Gridiron, how are you holding up? How are you holding up?
Well,
Let's.
Things have opened up a little bit in the last 24 hours. Not anything we would wish for, but the Dallas Mavericks now are without Kyrie Irving, and the team right behind them, the Dallas team that will likely be tanking the rest of the way, would be the Suns, who are 3.5 games back. So they may be the beneficiary of this to get themselves into the play-in tournament.
Do you really think that that's a possibility though? Like the Suns also themselves are not playing spectacularly.
Past Dallas,
they're not playing spectacularly though.
No, they're not. No, they're not. And they played all right the first half of that Minnesota game on Sunday night, but then they kind of got ran off the floor by the younger guys, and they keep saying the same stuff after losses, and it's kind of this is it. This is going to be the run. I think we're all kind of resigned to the fact that they're going to deal KD, either way at this summer.
That's a for sure. You're 100. You're willing to put the money down.
Yeah, I do not expect Kevin Durant on the Suns roster next October. No.
Okay, what about Budenholzer?
I don't think they need to get his approval to go anywhere. I mean, if they want to send him somewhere else, I think they can.
Okay, is Coach Bud gonna stay? Are you a fan of his? Do you think that he's gonna?
I mean, on one hand, you want to say no, but then you don't want to be having 4 coaches in 4 years either. And that's what it would be if they get rid of him. It would be.
Oh, this is bad news. I'm really worried. I'm really worried about your sons. They found themselves in a situation where they're likely. I mean, before we thought that this was going to be the team that brought the next championship to Arizona.
Yeah.
I don't know that we feel that way anymore.
No, I don't.
Now we just don't know.
I don't think in this incarnation it's going to be. No.
Okay. Okay. Look, spring football for ASU is almost here, and I think one of the
Yep.
cool things is
When did they get started in March?
yeah, they do get started
Okay.
at the
Well,
end of
we're in
March, I
March now.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of March. One of the cool things that I've seen on this staff now is the addition of some Arizona alumni
Yep.
in the form of former ASU quarterback Trenton Bourget, and
Mm-hmm.
also former Marana quarterback Trenton Bourget, and then former Saguaro linebacker,
Yep.
Idaho State commit Cannon Siegel.
Yep. Ken Siegel. Mm-hmm.
Got to be super excited about that and making inroads. I think that those type of guys, those type of hires will help make inroads with the in-state recruiting, which,
yeah,
contrary to popular belief,
it wasn't a heavy in-state recruiting class the last go round.
No, it wasn't. But contrary to popular belief, and I get it, either you signed them or you didn't. But I do think that that relationships with this staff and the top players in the state of Arizona is getting better, is getting stronger. Those are actually there versus in the past under previous regimes. I don't think that those relationships were there. I think that our top kids now, they know who their position coach at ASU projectively would be. They have a relationship somewhat communicatively. So,
yeah, I mean, after the season they had last year, you don't expect a lot of turnover amongst the staff. So,
no, for sure. And, the Arizona State obviously doesn't have a lot of turnover amongst their team either. Cause I think like they're 1-2 deep. Like they got almost everybody back. So, I think it's exciting times. In your gridiron, best, what would be your projection, just guesstimating that they duplicate last year's run?
That they make it to the college football playoff again?
Yeah. Guesstimating. Without any
guesstimating making it to the playoff, I'm going to put just under 50%.
It's not so you're saying like 40.
Remember how many teams made it from the Big 12 last year? Just one.
Well,
and I don't think they're expanding this year.
They're not expanding to 14? I thought they're expanding.
It is 14.
But they're not expanding again?
Oh, no, it's 12. I'm sorry.
No, it's 12. I thought they're expanding to 14 this year.
I don't think they're doing it this year. I think for sure they can't do too many changes until the following year. But I think if they had enough votes, they could get it up to 14 this year. If they get to 14, they can get a second team in. Yeah.
Okay. Also, in your gridiron best, how about our NAU guys making the playoffs again? What are your thoughts? Because there's a lot of excitement up in Flagstaff. I got a chance to catch up.
Your coach there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coach Wright, and I got a chance to catch up with Coach Cheatwood last month. Probably going to catch up with another one of their coaches sometime soon.
I want to say they led about 24 in the FCS playoffs.
I think you're right. Right, and they got one of those like at-large-ish bids.
And the Big Sky is one of the best conferences in the FCS overall, as far as they have. The Montana State is in there. And Montana and the Idaho has gone on some runs, and so you've had Weber State's had some good teams over the last decade. So you've had some really strong teams out of there. So it helps the conference schedule. What would we have? Oh, we have the former
Eric Newman, our guy, Eric Newman from the Take It Easy Sports Show. They aren't expanding, and Wisconsin. Now he's in Wisconsin holding it down. Yes. They aren't expanding, but I'll tell you what is when I see handsome, my smile. Okay, all right. That almost got really weird for a second, but
it did. Yeah, I got worried.
Oh man. Oh, let's see. Running time slot against the president is crazy. Love this guy.
Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
are
sure
the alternative programming right now. You can catch the highlights later from what's going on in Washington.
Oh, look, man, take a break. Take a break from all the stuff that's going on your daily news network and stuff like that. It's a lot of bad and it's a lot of discouraging stuff sometimes. So, we just try to be that breath of fresh air that brings you back to the wonderful world of like high school sports, college sports, all that stuff, and a little bit of pro sports here and there. But Gridiron, hey man,
To go back to the question, I'm going to say, if only one makes it back to the playoff between ASU and NAU, I'm going to say the Sun Devils are the one.
Oh wow, wow, okay. Okay. I like that. I like it. And we're not going to get into U of A too much just because like
I wasn't putting them in the playoff. No.
we just hope they don't duplicate last year. Look, I'm not a U of A fan, but we got a lot of U of A guys
Yep.
over there.
We have a lot of Arizona high school guys over there. Yeah.
My
They're all
big man
U of A.
challenge, my big man challenge officially ran by big dog Grayson Stovall. So I got to show some love at least that way. And they got a lot of Arizona guys on their roster, so we're always going to show a little bit of love at least. But yeah, I just don't want to see them. If they win one more game than last year, I'll be happy. I'll be excited as long as that one more game is
as long as it isn't the regular season finale.
As long as it's not the regular season finale, so then I'll be happy. Win whichever game, win whichever other game you want. Just don't win that one. Your thoughts on look, and I know we're going to cover this down the line here soon, ish, since the NFL Combine stuff is pretty much wrapped. Any thoughts on what you saw so far? Any commentary from some of the Arizona guys? I know like Ty Robinson blazed the 40.
From the Combine, yeah.
Yeah, from the NFL Combine, some of our Arizona guys really did their thing.
Got a lot of positive reviews with the strength of his arm out there, and might have really helped himself out there. Yeah, and a guy that has played enough college football in a few different systems that he might be more readily available to or able to adapt to whatever NFL system he goes into.
No, for sure, absolutely. And this is something that I think like I said down the line here, probably next week or the week after, something that we'll touch on, talk about Arizona guys that were at the Combine that performed well, like guys like Denzel Burke. My guy Denzel Burke was absolutely spectacular again, probably playing himself back into the first round or up higher in the first round if he wasn't in it already. But no, I'm excited. We got a lot of successful Arizona guys in the league, and we got to continue to show them love. Shout out to our
next month, yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to our guys real quick, like Keely Ringo and Spencer Rattler, guys that got some juice this year. And I know that there's a ton other that I haven't mentioned, but Gridiron, hey, I always appreciate you hanging out, and we got to come up with a topic for next week. And also, I am already getting hit up by baseball guys and
early guys. Let's let them get some stats first, and then we'll jump into them like in April.
Saying what's up with us not showing them any multi-sport love, and I was like, guys, like we gotta wait for you to
started.
Some of them haven't even started yet, really. So, like, I mean, right? Like, I mean, not everybody. Like, look,
we got here. Let's pull up some baseball here. You have to play like 3 games or something. Let's see. We'll pull up Brophy here. Okay, now Brophy they were in a tournament, so they played 4 games in a tournament. And then they played 1 game that counts toward the PowerPoint so far. So they will have basically their second counting game Thursday at home against Basha.
Hey, this isn't going to be official, but one thing I did want to do, I did want to ask you, Gridiron, the 6A boys Final Four. I would do the open, but like I think we're both going to pick the same team. So the 6A boys Final Four. We got Brophy versus Highland, Mesa versus Liberty. I kind of want to take Brophy and Liberty.
Bro, I agree with Liberty
to make the championship. Okay, but you don't agree with Brophy.
Brophy and we talked about Brophy not too long ago with all the high school football guys that they're playing. I'll go Brophy. Yeah. I'll back that one. Brophy and Liberty.
Okay, so we're gonna completely agree on that. So now we have to now real quick, real briefly, we got to move to to girls hoops. Let's talk about the Open over there. Valley Vista versus Pinnacle, Desert Vista
That Valley
versus
Vista
Millennium.
won big tonight.
Oh, okay. Are those games already done?
That was already played. I can give you the in progress with that one is that one's already wrapped up.
Okay. Well, I was gonna take Valley Vista anyways. I was probably gonna take Valley Vista to just win it all.
Yeah, Valley Vista won that game tonight, 68-45. They started that one early because they're playing them at the same site. So Desert Vista Millennium will get started at the top of the hour.
Okay. All right. So we got to find something that we differ on. Mountain Point versus Canyon View. I'm gonna take Mountain Point.
I'll take Canyon View. Okay, I'll jump.
Okay, there we go. 5A boys.
5A boys. We're on here.
Yeah.
5A boys.
But I'm taking Mountain Point and you're taking Canyon View. I got my man Cheese, Tyreek Washington, and dude, they had some monster freshmen over there. Their point guard's super nice, and then they had this long freshman, something Isaac, I believe. Kid was a baller. Got a San Jose State offer. Okay, cool. So I got Mountain Point, you got Canyon View, and we'll catch up on that next week. Yep. Hey, Gridiron, I really thank you so much for always going inside the numbers and doing this thing weekly. You are a absolute treasure to the community. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. You know the deal. Gridiron, I'm gonna catch up with you next week as we find out who wins this hoops bet between me and you.
Let's go Jaguars.
Oh wow, already? You want to do them like that? All right, Gridiron. I'll catch you later.
All right, we'll see you.
No, we don't have a gambling problem, but that is, me and Gridiron. We usually do this, Gridiron Chili Challenge, during football season, and I was asked at the Mountain Point game, how come we don't do that for basketball? I guess we could, but he's definitely more versed on what's going on in basketball than I am. I know that Perry's good, so I would probably always bet on them. I probably would have taken Perry Slope, to be honest, in the Open. I'm not sure who he would have taken, but I like the way that this worked out. But see, me and him thinks very, very similarly because in that 6A, we both took Brophy Liberty. But for the sake of the show, he went with Canyon View. Actually, he's probably going to go with Canyon View anyways. That I think that's like down the street from him. I'm not sure. But look, your boy Chili, I'm going to catch up with you guys next week. Bring this whole thing back next week. New interviews, new topics. Got to make sure that my guy Gridiron has something to chat about, something on the yellow pad. Also, don't forget Red Zone Elite this weekend. If you need photographers, videographers, make sure that you guys hit up guys like K Visuals, JJ Digos Photos. My guy BJ Media is always doing work. And my guy Timeout Dev. My guy Timeout Dev is an absolute monster. Although I think he's officially locked in with Tucson Turbo. I know K Visuals is kind of locked in with Tucson Turbo also, but Digos super free agent. So make sure that you guys look out for one of those guys. Also, MBJ Media super free agent, and he has like 10,000 people on his staff. So make sure that you guys holler at one of them and pay accordingly. Listen, man, don't do my guys dirty and try to lowball them with like Big Macs and like bottles of water and stuff like that. Make sure that you guys take care of my guys out there. All my photographers need to get some love, get some juice. Corey Cross, Andy Silvis, the Gotographer, Ariana Graney. If you're looking for just photos, hit up some of those guys. Other than that, your boy Chili. I'm gonna make my way out of here. At Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Holler at me if you need anything or tweet, whatever. Also, Ball Dogs AC. Don't forget, don't dunk on my camera guy unless you get the chance to. And if you do, make sure that you get the video and tag me in it. Other than that, Forks Up Forever. Y'all